next point, again, flows seamlessly from one to the next. Tools versus toys. You talk to them all about how the toys are to be played with and the tools are not. Well, our next point is 911 and what number to call in case of an emergency. So I was introduced this by saying another tool that we like to use is a number. Who here knows the number for emergencies? And most kids will either shout it out or by a show of quiet hands, and you pick on somebody and allow them to say 911. Oftentimes, I'll ask kids, who here has one of these kinds of phones in their house? And I'll reach into my prop box, and I'll show them this kind of phone. And these kind of phones, obviously, are not very common anymore, and most kids have never even seen one of these. So, I always have in my back pocket or in my prop box the kind of phone that they do have, the one that they see every day. Now, when I hold up this one, all hands go up. They either have one, their parents have one, whoever they live with, siblings, aunts, uncles, somebody has one of these kinds of phones in their house. So not only is it really important that this segment, they know the number 911, but it's also really important that they know how to call 911. And with these kind of phones, even some adults don't know that you don't need a passcode to call 911 on any phone. With any of these, that you can go ahead and call 911 even if you don't have the password or even if the phone's locked. So I like to remind kids to go home and to ask whoever they live with, whatever adult they live with that has one of these phones that they would likely use, to show them how to use it and to call 911. Importantly though, what is an emergency? What is a good reason to call 911 and what is not a good reason to call 911? As we talked about earlier in the video, we really want you to use your own personality, use your own examples. The ones that are in the script have been ones that I've been using personally for years. Do you call 911 if your grandmother's asleep on the kitchen floor and you can't wake her up? Yes, that's a great reason to call 911. How about if your brother's really bothering you? Is that a good reason to call 911? No, it's not. That's not an emergency. What about if you look out your kitchen window and your neighbor's house is on fire? Yes, of course that's a good reason to call 911. What if your dog hurts its paw? Is that a good reason? No, that's not an emergency at all. And it's our job to teach these kids that 911 is, as we said, a tool and not a toy, not something to play with.